everyone, it's your girl MK and I'm back with another video. I am doing another Valentine set of nails and I'm going to be doing a heart cutout on one of the nails. So I'm going to be using the Young Nails Speed Clear as the base for all of the nails. And the reason why I'm doing that is so that whenever I go ahead with my colored acrylic, it will save me a little bit of product instead of just doing it all a colored acrylic without that clear base underneath. As you guys know, I do not have a bead method, so I just add as many beads as I need onto the nail. Now since we're just doing a clear base, we're going to just add a very thin layer of that onto the nail. So since these nails are a little bit on the longer side, I am going to go with a more to a medium bead and gently drag that down all the way down to the tip. And then I'm also going to be fixing up the sidewalls to make sure they're nice and straight and smooth on the edges, because if not, it will get bulky and you don't want that, because that's going to be extra filing at the end and you don't want that because that's eventually going to hurt your wrist more and more that you file. So make sure that you guys do that. Now I'm also going to place another bead at the bottom because I just did not have enough clear acrylic. Once I'm done with that step, I'm going to go ahead and use my homemade red and pink acrylic powders, and along with the Young Nails Speed white acrylic onto the pinky, I am going to be doing a marble effect. It did take some time to get used to, but once I got it down, it wasn't so bad. So what I do first is I just add my first bead onto the nail, which I will be using the pink first, and then I'll go ahead and use the red and then the white. You kind of want to work more into the wetter side of the beads than the drier, so it's easier to custom that marble effect that you want. But once you get that down, it's actually pretty easy and a lot of fun to do. So once I get that down with the nails and get it to my liking, I'll go ahead and move on to the other nails. Also, when you go ahead and make the marble effect, you want to go ahead and gently move your brush side by side in a windshield wiper method, just so you create that marble really well. And you don't want to put too much pressure on the brush, if not you will wipe that off. I did wipe some of that white off on purpose because it was just too much and it was running down really fast. The Young Nails Speed acrylic is kind of harder to work with just because it's a speed and it requires less acrylic monomer, so that's why you guys see me wiping that off right away. And then I'm going to go ahead and tap the sidewalls just to make sure they are nice and straight and none of the acrylic is flooding down there, so it's not too hard to file later on. Once I get that marble to my liking, I am going to go ahead and use the baby pink on the ring finger. Now, as you guys notice, my baby pink was not fully mixed well, so you guys will see a little bit of darker acrylic bits here and there, but in all honesty, I'm actually okay with that just because it kind of brings some type of texture to the nail. So I was completely fine with that. It kind of brings some sort of like confetti that it reminds me of. So I was definitely okay with that, especially since these are a Valentine's Day set. So I'm just going to go ahead and use a thin layer of that onto the nail. However, later on I do add another layer of the acrylic on there because I wasn't so happy on how thin the acrylic was, just because of how light the acrylic was. So I do go ahead and add another layer to that. And then after this video, I actually did remix the reds and the pinks back up. So when I go ahead and use them for next time, you guys aren't going to see that confetti look that's in the acrylic. After I get that nail done, the next nail I'm going to do like a 3 color block nail. And what I mean by that is that I'm going to go ahead and lay down the pink, and then I'm going to go ahead and line that up really well and make sure it's nice and straight and flat as best as I can, because I don't want the whole nail to be pink. So I just want like the nail bed to be pink, and then the middle part of the nail I'll go ahead and make white. And then I'll go ahead and straighten that up and make it really nice and square form. And then the last color, I'll go ahead and do red at the tip, which you guys will see what I mean here soon. And then I'm just going to go ahead and clean up my side walls as always to make sure they're nice and straight and no acrylic is running down the sides. So that with the filing, it will be a lot smoother and easier to do. And then I'm going to basically add some sparkles to this nail as well, which you guys will see later on in the video. Now this is where I go ahead and add the other thin layer of the pink onto the nail, because like I said earlier, I wasn't liking how thin the pink was, because you can see through it and you can see the tip on the natural nail bed. So that is why I added another layer of the pink, so it's more of a solid color and not a see-through shade of pink. So I'll just go ahead and do that until it gets to my liking. Now, since the nail has hardened, I'm going to go ahead and use my needle bit to go ahead and create that heart cutout onto the nail. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically create a small hole into the nail, and then I'll slowly start designing the heart on how I would want it. And then it's basically all depending on your speed and how much pressure you're using. If obviously you don't want to go too high of a speed or too low of a speed, so I'd say you want to go at a pretty decent speed. I'm not exactly sure what speed I was at, just because my personal electric nail file does not have a number or like a speedometer on it. It just basically has a little volume where you can turn the knob, so it doesn't really tell you the exact speed that you're at. So just go whatever you're comfortable at, and then obviously if it's too low of a speed, you will automatically know, because your drill bit will not move. It'll just basically freeze up on you. So make sure you have it at a decent size, not a decent size, a decent speed for when you're drilling the heart. And then once I get to the heart to my liking, I'll then go ahead and use a cone shape nail drill bit to go ahead and finish that off. Now, I thought this was pretty easy, so in my personal level, I'm like more of a beginner, so I found it really simple. So if you're a beginner, maybe you want to try it out too. But I found it really easy and really fun to do, something cute and something different to do. But other than that, keep watching. Now, I wasn't thinking straight, but obviously when you go ahead and file, always make sure you put another layer of the clear acrylic down. So not just on the underneath, but also on top, because that beautiful artwork is going to get destroyed from all that filing, which you guys will see here in a little bit. I actually just noticed it whenever I got to the left part of the nail, how it kind of got a little bit chipped. So make sure you do apply a little bit of a clear acrylic on top of the nail so you protect your beautiful artwork that you have created. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my white designer art nail polish, and I'm basically going to add a line where the pink and the white meet and where the white and the red meet. And in my opinion, the line doesn't have to be perfect or anything, because we are just going to add the sparkles on top of it. And I am using a very fine glitter to add to the nail. As you guys will see here, I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle it off, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it in my nail lamp for 2 minutes, and then I'll go ahead and dust the remaining of the glitter that is stuck onto the nails. But other than that, I'm just going to basically file and buff and shape and all that stuff, and then I'll go ahead and use the Young Nails gloss top coat on top of the nails to finish the video, and then that's basically it. If you guys like the video, go ahead and like it, and if you have not, go ahead and subscribe to my channel so you guys stay up to date with all my videos. Thanks.